this is Professor Kim Nelson, Jewelry Design Department, Fashion Institute of Technology. Tutorial for JD139 ideation, drafting module. Going to draft our transparent ring. It's a tapered ring band, tapering from 10 millimeters down to 4. First step in drafting is to always lay out your construction lines, which we will do based around the center of the front view. So start a line, both sides, 0, enter, both sides, B, enter, and I want it 50 millimeters, so type in 50, enter, shift to lock and ortho. Repeat going in the other direction. And begin our drawing with a ring bore of 17 millimeters, circle diameter, circle center radius, center of circle 0, diameter, make sure it's at the diameter and not radius, 17. Going to offset for a shank thickness of 2 millimeters. So offset 2. And we're going to move it up 0.4. This outer profile so that we have it thinner at the bottom, thicker at the top. So move, M, enter, click anywhere you want. This is relative movement. Going to constrain two things here. Going to constrain the distance, 0.4. Going to constrain the direction with ortho. Hold down the shift key. And that is our front view. Bring the information over and around into the other viewports. I need a center line for my top view. So curve tools, offset, through, point, T, enter. Going to turn on grid snap and just grab this next grid intersection up. Same thing going this way. This will give us my center line for top view and side view. And while I'm at it, draw our miter line. Starting here, constraining 3 things on this case. I want both sides, well actually 2 once again. Really the only thing I need to constrain is direction. So backward facing arrow, that's shift comma key, 45. That locks it into a 45 degree angle. And I'll stop just outside of the profile of the ring. And now bringing the information from the front view up, curve, offset, through point, both sides. I'm going to catch the widest point of the circle, which will be its quadrant. While I'm here, through point, both sides, catch the quadrant, widest point of the ring bore as well. Okay. I'm going to bring information over into the side view. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my grid for now. Simplify things for you to look at. Turning your grid off is F7. Through point, both sides, to grab my ring bore. Now I have to not do both sides for the top and bottom because they're not symmetrical. The top is farther from the center. Through point, intersect option, object snap. It's farther up than the bottom. Okay. Going to now, that's all I can bring from the front view at this point into the top and side. I'm going to continue continue by drawing my top view. I know the widest part of my ring is 10 millimeters, so I'm going to do an offset of construction curve, both sides, 5 millimeters each side. By typing in 5 enter, that will give me 10 millimeters. Going to apply drafting technique now. In Rhino drawing, I already know it's 10 millimeters and I would just repeat the command. But I want to still emphasize traditional drafting technique to some degree. So we are going to take a construction line from where this width reaches the miter curve. We're going to pull straight down until it intersects, holding down the shift key, until it intersects with the top line of the ring. Same thing with the back. That is our topmost width. Our bottommost width we know is 4 millimeters, so we'll offset through point both sides 2 millimeters. Click. To keep it tidy, I'll trim those curves off at the bottom of the ring, and this will allow me to actually draw my side view. Okay, so I have that. That's all I can do for now without starting to do my cross-sectional data. So I'm going to simplify my drawing. I right-click on the color box in the layers palette, select objects, deselect with my control key my center lines, and put the rest onto my storage curve layer. Alright, I'm going to draw my first 4 cross sections. Draw them in the front view first. That's our starting view. So there are my 4 cross sections. Okay, I'm going to bring the information for those 4 cross sections over into the side view. And I actually already have it since I brought this over, and the profile of the side view creates the rest of that sectional information. That gives me the top cross section. The bottom cross section. And the side cross section, once again, is just a straight line, because that's all we see of it from the side view. This is straight in from the side, and straight in from the front, straight in from the side. So now, in the top view, I'm going to bring my cross sections for those 4 main cross sections up and around. Okay. Well, for the top, I'm going to have to give these center ones here, I'm going to use dots, points, to plot them, because they're all in a straight line. I have 2 cross sections with plenty of information all lined up along the center line. So I'm going to use points to demarcate where they actually land. So, some construction lines. I already have the maximum width of my top cross section. So I'll go ahead and put points in for that. It's obvious, but I'll put them there anyway. Okay. I'm going to draw a construction line for the narrower width. Pull up to the miter line, intersect, carry over to the center construction line, intersect. And that width gets 2 points as well. For the bottom, once again I'm going to have a dimension for the wider part of the section and the narrower. Construction line straight up, intersect miter line, intersect center line, straight up, using shift key of course to lock ortho, intersect miter line, intersect center line, and my reference points. And for the narrow dimension, construction line straight up, intersect miter line, do that again, polycurve, intersect miter line, intersect center line, polycurve tool, straight up, intersect miter line, intersect center line, and reference points. That gives me my top cross-section and bottom cross-section information. Now I need my side, okay? So I will bring that information up and across. Polyline tool. Up from, and here I only have a single width. I'm looking straight on, and I only have the one width. Up and over, and carry that into the full thickness of the cross section. Up to miter line, intersect, intersect over to full thickness of the shank. And we can draw that cross section. Now, intersect, 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 intersect. Now, notice it's the only one of our cross sections that is not tapered in any way, shape, or form. It's a simple rectangle. That's because it's unaffected by the tapering. It only engages the taper at its edge. It does not engage the taper along one of its sides like these do. It only engages it at its very edge, demarcating or dictating its width. Other than that, it's a straight cross section. So it has no taper. I'm going to mirror this over. Okay. I'm going to simplify my drawing. Control click to retrieve my construction lines, center lines. The rest go on to storage. Okay. Now I want to draw my remaining sections. I'm going to do them one at a time. I don't want them stacked on top of each other as we discussed in class. That makes it confusing. So I am going to stack the top ones more towards the side a little bit. Actually, I'll stack one here. Okay. And I'll stack the other one here. I'll gotta hold down. It wants to grab every other curve, so you have to hold down the Alt key to deactivate the snaps, and then you can pull here. I want this one to be fairly close So I have these two. I'm going to plot these two all the way around, beginning first with my side view. So construction line. Now that's unfortunate. I don't want that. It's lining right up with the bottom. That will be confusing for you, so I will draw a new section that does not line right up with that. Because having any of these lines marry exactly with the previous construction lines will make it hard for you to follow. Okay, construction line over for the top of the section till it reaches the edge of the ring, or goes slightly beyond. I took it beyond a little bit because once again I'm getting a lot of information here. There we go, that's right to the edge. And the bottom, right to the edge. And now I can draw that section in the side view. Once again, being affected by the taper as it runs its edge along it. Okay. So this is this. I'm going to now carry that information up into my top view. So from front to top, take a construction line straight up at the ring bore, and I'll take it for the full width of the ring. Ring edge. And now I'll bring the precise widths from the side view up and around. Width at the ring edge. Zooming in so I pick the right point. Intersect miter. I want polyline in this case. And carry it over to where the top edge of that section is meeting the ring edge. Same thing on the other side. It's important to keep it straight. You don't want to grab the wrong place. Shift key, intersect miter, intersect ring edge, top edge for the section. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for the narrower or inside ring bore edge. Miter, ring bore, miter, ring bore. And now I can draw this section. Intersect, 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 and done. Clean the drawing. So I have this section here, here, here. Now I will draw my next section, carrying the information once again over to the side first. Ring bore to the edge of the ring. Ring bore to the edge of that side view. And now I can draw my section from the side view. Intersect, 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 and done. Section, section. Now the less of the section you see in the side, the more you're going to see in the top. That's how 3-view drawing works. You never see all of anything in every view, so the more of it you see in one view, the less of it you're going to see in the others. So since this is quite narrow here, we know we're going to see quite a bit more of it up here, and we'll carry that information now. Construction line straight up from the ring bore all the way across the ring. From the ring edge all the way across the ring. And now for my widths coming up from the side view. From the wider top edge straight up, intersect, I keep using the wrong tool, polyline, straight up, intersect miter curve, intersect top edge. Straight up, top edge in the side view, intersect miter, top edge in the top view. Okay. Going to do the same thing from the narrower bottom ring bore edge. Narrow, and across to ring bore. And narrow, across to ring bore. And now I can draw that section. Intersect, 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 and intersect. Now notice the pattern that we have here. Not only do we see more of it from the top view than we did from the side. See how much wider that is than this. And of course, this is just an edge. But also notice how the taper is having less of an influence. That's because less and less of the side of the section is running along that taper. So this one shows quite a bit more taper than this one. And as we hit down to the midline, we actually have no taper showing. Okay. I'm going to do my lower two cross sections. Going to pull this one a little ways farther over. Hold down Alt key, deactivate any of my object snaps. And the next one will be quite close to the center line. Trim those off. And begin my drawing. Carrying the information over to the side view first. Construction line ring bore. Now that we're below the midpoint, the ring bore is the wider dimension. Ring edge, which is now our narrower dimension. Draw the section. I'm going to do that again, calling out what it is as I go. And actually I'll put these on the storage curve so you can see the drawing. Okay? Ring bore, ring edge, outer surface of ring, ring bore edge across the ring bore. Okay? Going to bring those curves up into the top view, those dimensions. Ring bore all the way across the ring. Ring edge, surface edge, outer surface straight up, full width of the ring. And then around. Okay? Going to go from the ring bore straight up, intersect miter. Forgot to use polyline yet again. Intersect miter line, come all the way over, intersect ring bore. Ring bore again, straight up, intersect miter, intersect ring bore. And surface, at the surface. Surface width, miter, surface. Surface, miter, and then surface. Enter. Okay, so that will allow me to draw my section in the top view. I'm going to start once again at the ring bore. Okay, ring bore, ring surface, ring surface, ring bore. Once again, we're below the midpoint of the ring, so ring bore is the wider dimension. And ring bore. Carry these onto the storage curve layer. This is getting so busy now, I'm going to actually use a different storage layer. Okay, so I'll remove those for now. But here's my 3 lower cross sections. You can see they're getting narrower, widest, narrower. Actually, widest is here. Narrower, narrower still, midpoint, getting narrower still, coming around the bottom.